Hello and good evening from St. Louis Park. I'm Bruce Homer along with Paul Bodwin. Tonight it's the Section 5A quarterfinal game between the St. Louis Park Orioles and the Irondale Knights. For the Orioles, they come into this game at 4-4. Irondale at 2-6. And Paul, this could be a good football game tonight. It's a very chilly night for football, like we had a couple weeks ago, and we'll see how that plays into effect here.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Bruce. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we got another cold night with a heavy wind, this time a little bit more out of the north and the straight west, so we'll see how that impacts things. Fans are trickling in a little bit, and I do anticipate a good game against the Irondale Knights.
Irondale Knights come into this game with a 5-game losing streak, losing to Coon Rapids, Armstrong, Forest Lake, Cooper, and Hopkins. But to note, the number 2 seed in this section is Robbinsdale Cooper. And that was a 28-23 loss for Irondale, so a very close game. So if they play like that, they're gonna give St. Louis Park a tough fight tonight.
Absolutely, and if St. Louis Park plays like it did last week, I think the Orioles will have a good night as well. So hopefully we have a good contested game. Both teams playing hard. They both want to win, because you lose and you're out, right, Bruce?
That's correct. One and done.
Yeah, so nobody wants their season to end yet.
So Moot to kick off. And this one's going to go out of bounds. That's Preston Nimley that let it go out of bounds. Starting lineups. There you see the offensive line for the Irondale Knights.
Kickoff goes out of bounds. First down Knights.
And that out of bounds kick will give Irondale some decent field position to start the game. We'll see if the Orioles defense can stop them. It'd be nice to get a 3 and out and get the ball right back, well, not right back, but into the Orioles' hands. We'll see.
Griffin Barassa, the starting quarterback, a junior. Running backs will be King and Thompson in the backfield. The wide receivers, Casper and Ejiofor. Iggy Ejiofor, the leading receiver. Man in motion to the far side. Quarterback keeper Barassa, and Barassa with a nice gain across the 40 to about the 41.
Yeah, that's a good push there by Barassa, and also we had one Oriole defender kind of rush in there pretty quick, over pursued a little bit and maybe missed his man, but I'm sure he's pumped up and ready to play and wanted to make a tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, Griffin Barassa has carried the ball 65 times, 321 yards coming into the game. That's an average of 4.9 yards per carry.
That's not bad. That'll get the job done.
Handoff, nice gain. That's number 29, Abraham Thompson.
Yep, and that is a nice gain. That's a first down, and Irondale is doing exactly what they probably wanted to do to start out this game. Encroaching in on Orioles territory here.
Yeah, they're a team that can score points. They've also had 3 games in a row where they've scored 0, 2, and 3. So you know, it's a little bit of a mix.
Yep, and on a night like tonight with it cold and windy, I do anticipate a lot of running and probably a low score, but we'll see.
Thompson goes in motion, and the pitch. That's number 6, Reuben King, and he stacked up behind the line. Good pursuit by the Orioles defense on that play.
Great pursuit on the Orioles defense. He looks like he's got a quick step. Thought maybe he'd turn the corner, but they got to him and tackled him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Number 10, Stadler. For the Orioles.
You know, Irondale, their completion percentage has not been so good so far. They're 34% completion percentage for Barassa. They're predominantly a running team, and there's a give to Ibrahim Thompson, or no, that's King, and King with a nice gain across midfield down to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and he's quick. They're going to have to really key in on him. He's got some quick steps there, and nice little handoff, some great blocking, a big hole, and luckily there were some guys in the secondary there to stop him before it got worse.
And with this kind of weather too, it's every play is big because it's so easy to turn that ball over with having cold hands out there.
Yep, and I imagine the field might even be a little bit slippery too.
So 3rd down, 7 yards to go. The give is to King. King following the blockers, and he's right at the stake. I think he's going to have a first down.
They give him the right spot. He should have a first down here. Another good run.
Yeah, very patient. You saw how he just sort of took his time, didn't try and just run ahead of the blockers. He followed the blockers, he knew where he needed to get to for that first down, and that was really a nice run by King.
Yep, and even as he was waiting for his blockers, he kind of kept his feet moving so he could make that burst when he needed to.
Split backfield, and the give to King once again off left tackle, and a great tackle that time.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle. It looked like, was that Townsend? Wrapped him up nicely, and a little bit of a gain, but not much. Like to see some more of that.
For the Orioles, short gain on the play brings up second down.
Irondale's moving the ball nicely, though.
There, Paul, and St. Louis Park now just needs to sort of get things together defensively. We saw a couple games ago, it took them a while to really get going on defense. There's a drop pass.
Yeah, there's a drop pass. That might be some playoff jitters, Bruce. I don't know, but the pass was right there. That's when you want to catch, and he knows it.
Yeah, Iggy normally would catch that ball. He's a great receiver, good basketball player as well, and you can see perfectly thrown by the quarterback.
Yeah, it didn't look like he took his eye off the ball or anything. It just slipped right underneath him, and that won't be the last time they call his number, though. So we're looking at a long third down, Bruce. It'd be nice to get a big stop here.
Yeah, the ball is sitting right around the 40-yard line, split backfield again with King and Thompson. And this give is to King, and King is brought down behind the line. Another great play by Townsend.
Excellent tackling. They beat their blockers. They got off their blockers, wrapped the man up. He got nowhere, and we're looking at a long fourth down.
So a couple big plays by Jack Townsend here in the early going, and it brings up a fourth down punting situation now for Irondale. And they're going to bring in their punter, which is Noah Kiani. Dvorak will receive the punt for the St. Louis Park Orioles, and he's standing at about the 10-yard line.
That's a great stop by the Orioles. The Irondale was moving the ball, but now they're punting.
Good punt. Over the head and into the end zone. Dvorak called for a fair catch, but just that one too far.
Yep, Dvorak called for the first catch, but I think he also knew it was going over his head, and he did the right thing and just let it go.
Yeah, 20-yard net on the punt, and here's the starting lineup for the St. Louis Park Orioles. As you can see, their offensive line: Acevedo, Corcoran, Swindlehurst, Smith, and Olson. This has been a good offensive line for the Orioles.
Absolutely, they had a very nice game last week. With Hager making a lot of runs with some big holes.
Our starting lineup, the running back's not correct. That should be Hager as the running back.
And Nathim is out for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Hager gets to the 25-yard line. Hager's been a nice surprise filling in for both, because they had two running backs go down. So you had Nathim, and then you also had Davenport, who was their second-string running back, and he went down with a knee injury, and I guess he may have had surgery this week. So
yeah, and Hager has filled in nicely, but it makes you wonder about the way it's depleted their receiver core, because I believe he was receiving, wasn't he?
He was. And this is Hager on the handoff, trying to go off the left side of the line, and he's going to be stacked up after a gain of 1. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Good defense.
Yeah, it's good defense. It's 3rd and 5, but it's also, this is what they're going to do. They're going to keep giving the ball to Hager. He's going to start finding some holes and getting some good pushes.
So Mangoko making the tackle for Irondale, makes it 3rd and 5. Trips to the near side. Ellingson. Back to pass. He's got time. He's got room to run. Comes to the near side across the 30. He's going to have a first down and goes out of bounds at around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Bruce, that's a great read by Ellingson. There wasn't a lot there right away. He saw the opening, and he does have a good burst of speed. He is a threat with his legs. And he's also just, from what I've seen in the few games I've called, he just has a good field vision, I think. Doesn't make a lot of bad mistakes, and knows when he can take off and get a first down.
Yeah, the Orioles quarterback a couple years ago, Sorensen, sort of the same. Great quarterback for the Orioles, but Ellingsen's done a great job in 2 years to replace Sorensen. There's Hager with a strong run up the middle.
Bruce. That's when Hager, I think, is the strongest. When they let him just go right up the middle, he almost always gets you 2 to 3 yards minimum.
I agree, Paul. North-south seems to be the better direction.
They do have to mix it up, so they'll run him, you know, onto the left and the right sometimes. But he seems to have his best success when he's running up the middle.
Sorensen, back to pass, letting it go long, has a player along the sideline, incomplete. That's Dvorak.
And that was a great play. He just kind of missed him. He had him, just overthrew him a little bit. He's got the wind behind him, so the wind might have taken that ball a little further than he thought. But it was a nice sort of delayed fake, and he found his man, and it was there. He just missed him.
If you look the way the wind's blowing, it's sort of coming in on us, and I think that that could have had a little bit of an effect on that throw. And that's something that Ellingsen, as he continues to throw the ball, will be able to play the wind a little bit more.
Yep, we saw that in the last windy game. He missed one of the first receivers, and then he started hitting them.
There's an encroachment. We've seen that quite a bit too this season. Ellingsen, with his cadence, is able to draw the defense off sides, and that makes this a much easier third down for the Orioles. It's going to be third down and 1 yard to go.
Yeah, there is a world of a difference between a 3rd and 6 and a 3rd and 1, Bruce. So that's a nice way to draw them off sides and put the Orioles in a better position to maybe get a first down here.
Yeah, that was the De La Salle game. I think De La Salle had 4 defensive encroachments.
And they had that one funny formation where they got 2 of them just on that.
There's a quarterback keeper up the middle, first down.
Great keeper on Ellingsen. He got that ball and just burst it through. He saw the opening and he took it.
That's an Orioles first down.
Tony Stadler now comes in at wide receiver for the Orioles.
So this is a nice drive for the Orioles, Bruce. They're moving the ball up the field just like Irondale was. It'll be nice to see if the Orioles can sustain it.
So you got Ewald and Dvorak lining up on the far side. Deontay's Ross to the near side. Hager in the backfield. Ellingsen back to pass. He's going to throw, looking downfield, and that was a good defensive play by the offensive player because it looked like Hernandez was waiting for that interception.
Yeah, that was one. That's a gutsy throw on Ellingsen's part. He kind of lofted it a little bit too much. If you're going to throw that one, it's got to be a dart that comes right into your player. But and I'm not sure who the intended receiver was. I missed that, but he did a good job of keeping that from being an interception. But I also like the call. You know, it's first down. Let's go for it.
Once again, Hager in the backfield. And this is Ellingsen on the keeper. Nice gain for Ellingsen as he gets to the far side. He could go. One man to beat. He beats him, and he is in for a touchdown. 49-yard run for Ellingsen.
What a great run. He's got that burst of speed, but also downfield you had Cole Ewald with a key block to get him all the way into the end zone. What a great series for the Orioles, mixing it up with mostly running, but a little bit of passing, and then a great keeper for Ellingsen to take it to the house.
So the Orioles on board first. For Ellingsen, that's his 5th touchdown of the season from a running perspective. And the kick is going to be wide.
Yeah, and it's wide in the direction the wind is blowing.
That's been a struggle for the St. Louis Park Orioles. They have not done so well in the extra point category.
Yeah, they sure haven't. And tonight again, they are fighting a hefty wind. We got about a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind out there, but that's when you want to make. You'd rather go up 7 than 6 for sure.
Yeah, St. Louis Park was 5 of 12 for extra points. So yeah, you know, when you're under 50% on extra points, and a lot of that, you know, it's not all moot. Could be holding, could be the snaps, and
Yep.
but it's been a struggle for the Orioles.
But nevertheless, they're up 6 to nothing here against Irondale. Good competition, so the Orioles off to a good start. They should feel good about themselves.
So we've got Reuben King and Nimley back. This is going to be fielded by Nimley. Takes it at the 15, 20, 25. Nimley with a nice set of steam as he gets across the 40 down to the 42.
Number 1, Nimbley on the return for the Knights.
Yeah, that's Jack B. Nimbley, Jack B. Quick. He's a strong runner.
Dropped out at number 33.
And guess who brought him down? Townsend again.
Townsend's a good tackler. He really wraps his man up, and if he didn't hit him there, he could have taken that one all the way. He had a strong head of steam, like you said, moving up the field.
So the second possession now for Spring Lake Park. Barassa comes back out as quarterback. Fullback Thompson. It's going to be a keeper. Barassa, he is brought down.
And that looked like, was that Otsby there on the tackle? That was a nice backfield tackle.
Looked like DeMarion Caston, number 79.
I'm on the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great backfield tackle. Wrapped him up, took him right down for a loss.
Nice job, freshman.
Yeah,
that's,
you know.
He's going to be, no, not you. You know, that's Caston.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
You've graduated. You're well beyond the freshman stage, Paul. You've
well,
done
this
a
is
great
my
job
rookie season doing this.
No, that's not you. You're well beyond that in this category. You do a great job.
Well, thanks. You do as well. We're having some fun.
Hand off King, following the right side of the line, and King gets a nice head of steam across the 45. He's going to have a first down for Irondale.
Yeah, that's a great run, Bruce. And like you had said earlier with him, he was waiting for the blocks. He waited for those blocks, danced behind him, got him, and just followed his blockers and ran strong for another Irondale first down.
So far, both offensive lines have done a good job. You can see Irondale has actually done a good job so far in the game running the football, and St. Louis Park was able to stop them on the first possession, but not before they got a couple first downs, 2 or 3 running the football.
Absolutely, they're running it well, and we'll see if they can sustain it.
That's again King.
Another good run.
Number 6, King on the carry.
They run a little misdirection that time, and King comes in and gets a nice first down gain of 5 yards.
Brought down by number 12, Brown.
And he's a pretty strong runner for his size. I mean, he had a guy wrapped up on him, and he took him for another 2 to 3 yards.
Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Orioles lead 6-0. Winner of this game advances to the semifinals, and the prize possession is get to play number 1 Spring Lake Park.
I'm sure St. Louis Park would love to have another stab at him.
SLP against SLP.
Yep.
Back to pass, throwing over the middle, too far for the intended receiver.
Yeah, he did. He threw it too far, but also, even if he was on the money, he was relatively well covered, and they might have been able to bat that one down. But a great call for them. Why not go for it?
Yep, and that was intended for Iggy Ejiofor again. Aaron Ellingson, the defender on the play.
He does it all.
Thanks, Howard. This time King goes in motion. Back to pass. Barassa looks downfield, throws it. Incomplete. That was, yeah.
That one was almost picked off too. That was a dangerous throw, and I'm kind of curious here as to why Irondale's moving away from the run so much. They've had a lot of success with it. You got to mix it up, but I thought maybe they'd go back to the run there. But
I agree. 2 passing plays by a quarterback who's thrown only 35, completed 35% of his passes, and maybe on second down you do try something like they did, but third down you probably should have run the ball because it is 4-down territory according to what we're seeing right now. So maybe they feel they're confident on this play, but it looks like another passing situation. Oh, Barasa is pulling his way for a first down. That's a play St. Louis Park defense should have been able to contain Barasa. They had him behind the line, but Barasa with that big body frame was able to pull his way and get that first down. So.
Absolutely, Bruce. I thought they had him in short of the first down for sure, but he just carried him like a freight train.
Yeah, I'm sure the defensive coordinator's not happy on that. They thought they had him stacked up. They had a good defensive play call on that.
That's a big first down for Irondale.
Keep the drive alive. Rolling to the far side is Barasa, and he's going to take it himself. Cuts inside. Barasa stays on his feet. Gets inside the 20-yard line.
Another good run and a great decision not to throw it. It looks like he was looking to throw there, and you'll see here on the replay he pulled back and just went for it.
First down, Knights.
You can see right now he's looking
right
for
there, he
where he's
thought
going
about
to, and he knew he got a good block there. He had a lot of black defenders in there, and he just was able to cut right in between about 4 or 5 guys. Orioles need to do a little better job tackling.
Yep, and that's what can happen sometimes, Bruce, though. When you get out into space, you can find those little holes, and it can be tricky to wrap a guy up.
Another nice run by King.
Number 6, King on the carry for the Knights.
One of the things we saw, De La Salle seemed to move the ball pretty good a couple games ago, and then seemed like they got down deep in Oriole territory, and St. Louis Park called the defensive timeout. After that defensive timeout, St. Louis Park made some adjustments, and De La Salle was unable to run the football the rest of the game.
Yep, that's right. And, the same thing happened last week on a couple of those, and they tightened up. So those may be beneficial timeouts for the Orioles to call.
King goes in motion. Quarterback keeper Barasa. He's got some room if he gets outside. He does, and Barasa pulls his way into the end zone.
Yeah, and why not, Bruce? Why not continue to go with the hot hand? He's been running really well on this drive. He's and right there again, he just finds his way in, and now we've got it all tied up.
Well, this could be coming back. Looks like,
was there a flag?
I didn't see the flag, but illegal shift is going to be called against.
Well, that's a big break for the Orioles. Not only does it take away the touchdown, but now they're backing up a lot further. And they're going to have a long second down here.
All right, we'll cross that one off there. Cross off that scoring play.
Absolutely.
Timeout, St. Louis Park.
Well, here's where St. Louis Park takes that defensive timeout with 31 seconds to go.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting spot to take a timeout where you just, had a little bit of a stoppage of the clock and backed them up. I would think maybe they would just not use a timeout right there. But,
well, they may have seen a little too much of Barasa running that football and getting right through the defense, and I think maybe just giving the defense a little bit of a breather. This is a second possession in the first quarter.
Yep, great point. So we'll see what they can do here.
And again, for Irondale, it's really we're looking at 4-down territory probably, and I don't think we'll see a lot of field goal attempts in this game. So, so for Irondale, it's just get 2 or 3 yards per down here and work your way towards that first down.
Yeah, probably, especially when you're kicking right into that stiff northwest wind. I mean, it is really blowing. Those flags are going straight out. And kicking is hard enough as it is. A lot of people don't realize how hard that is to do.
So the give is to King, and he goes nowhere.
Yep, nice stop. And again, maybe, there it is. Maybe that timeout is what the Orioles needed to get reoriented. I don't know if you've ever tried to kick a field goal, but I tried to do it at the Super Bowl Experience once, and it did not end well.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
We used to have a tree in the middle of the yard. We used to do a lot of kicking and drop kicking and things, and it was amazing, you know, when we were younger, we were able to kick the ball, and now you try and kick the I try and kick the ball at this age. I'm like, you know, I don't even come close to the football. The hand-eye coordination is just not there anymore.
No, that and, you know, if I try to do that again, I think I'm going to be making an appointment with a chiropractor.
I do the Charlie Brown where they pull the ball away and I just go flying.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter.
6-0 our score. St. Louis Park leads. We'll be back with more football here in just a minute.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? You might be surprised. Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope, help, and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
We're back here, 6-0 the score. Good first quarter. Irondale with the ball at the 20-yard line. King goes in motion to the far side. Thompson in the backfield. Quick pass to King. Oh, and he drops that football. He had great blocking in front of him.
He did, and when he's got good blocking, he can do some damage. So I'm sure he'd love to have that one back. Let's see what he did here. And he did start to turn that head a little bit. You see it all the time. He knows he's got the blocking, he's got the end zone in his sights, and he just got a little bit ahead of himself, and he knows it.
Yeah, you know, that has to be disappointing because a couple good throws by Barasa have been dropped by receivers that have been open. They are going to go for a field goal here.
It's a pretty lengthy field goal, too. I'd watch out for a fake. You know, they don't seem to be set for that.
Right, Noah Kiani. And the kick is up and is good.
Heck of a kick. And you do have a little bit of a west wind here, so maybe they thought, hey, if he can catch some air and keep it straight, maybe he can kick this, because that's a longer field goal than I've seen some teams go for.
37-yarder.
37-yard field goal is nothing to sneeze at. That's an impressive field goal.
Well, it is, again, as we mentioned, strong wind, and what a great job by Kiani. And what that does is it really makes it a three-point game, so if they get into field goal range again, they have an opportunity to tie this football game up if they can hold St. Louis Park.
Yeah, although he did, now that I'm looking at it, have almost a straight crosswind on that kick, which makes it even more difficult. He didn't really have it behind him much.
Coming sort of.
Yeah, it's coming straight at him across the field, and so that's tough to do, but great kick. St. Louis Park Orioles still with the lead. It was a nice stop by the Orioles to keep him out of the end zone.
So Kiani will kick against this wind, but that's a good, strong kick. Look at that. It's going to go into the end zone.
And he's feeling good. He knows he's just kicked two good balls watching him run off the field.
First down, Orioles.
Yeah, Noah Kiani's he's fired up. And I would be too if I was kicking the ball like that.
Oh, that is, he's got a strong leg. He's not
Yeah.
You look at his size, he's not that big of a kid, but he's got some good leg speed when he follows through on that football. I just wonder if he's a soccer player too.
It'd be tough to do both of those, but maybe.
And off Hager, trying to get the corner. He does. Gets across the 30 and down to the 34. So first down by the Orioles.
That's great concentration on Hager right there to stay up. Guy had him right on his ankle, and he managed to pull away and stay up.
Seen Hager limping a couple times here. I don't know if he's got a sore ankle or something, but he seems to be hobbling a little bit when he goes back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you know, on that play in particular, I was just seeing on the replay, he did twist it a little bit. So if you already had some kind of nagging injury, you might have made it worse. And the last thing the Orioles can use right now is losing another running back.
Well, and there's a penalty on St. Louis
Oh,
Park.
no.
They're going to bring this one back. So instead of a first down, it's going to give the Orioles the ball back at their 15-yard line, and it's going to bring up first down and 15 to go. So that hurts from a couple perspectives. You lose the first down, but you're also pinned back further in your own territory. Trips to the far side, Hager in the backfield. And the give to Hager off right tackle.
44, Hager on the carry for the Orioles.
Hager tackled by Quincy Jones.
How about that?
Are you going to start singing some songs?
Yeah, who knew? Who knew? Oh. So another run by Hager, trying to go up the middle and make it happen, but he is hurt. He's limping pretty heavily now, and this is a big concern for the Orioles.
Yeah, it really is, and it's they're already down to their third-string running back, and which is Hager. And Hager has been playing like a first-string running back the way he's been able to run the football the last couple games, and they can't afford to lose Hager. And I'm not sure, what
This does not look good.
Injury is. It's almost like his knees bother him because he's trying to kick it out, but we don't want to speculate, even though I do.
Well, it's partly our job is to speculate, but and I can't tell if he's up or not. Did they get him up?
Yeah, he's walking off the field.
Oh, he is. I see him now.
It looks like it's that left leg.
He is walking on it, and so maybe there's a chance something just needs to rest up a little bit, and he could be back, we hope, but who knows.
Let's see who they put in the backfield now. Is that Deontay's Ross?
Might be. 14, yeah, that's Deontay's Ross. He's got the same white sleeves, so it looks like Hager. But yep, that's Ross back there. He's a nice runner as well.
So back to pass Ellingson. Under pressure, breaks out of it, throws to the near side, and incomplete. Intended for Dvorak and too far in front of him.
Not what you wanted there, Bruce, but also a nice play by Ellingson to get out of trouble and get rid of the ball and not make things worse. Because he had guys surrounding him. I thought he was down for sure.
And really what we've seen so far is Irondale doing a good job in coverage. And St. Louis Park has not had a lot of players that wide open. Trips now to the far side. Ross resets to the left of Ellingson. Back to pass Ellingson. Cuts up to the middle, looks to run. Breaks one tackle and only gets back out to the 25. So St. Louis Park now will be in a punting situation for the first time in this football game.
Yeah, and that's a lot of real estate to make up right there. And like you said, the coverage has been good. There was just nobody there. The thing that he did that was nice there was to just get out of the depth of that they were in a little bit, and maybe field position situation will be a little better. And you're still up 6-3, so you gotta feel good about yourself. Know you're gonna get the ball back, and try to stick it to him again. And we got flags on the play.
And a fumble, and who has it? It looks like it's
Irondale's got it.
Irondale, yep, number 22,
we do have a penalty.
Hernandez.
Covered by the Knights. Flag on the play.
Yeah, Jacob Brown came in on this to try and get that football, but a good recovery by Hernandez.
And let's see what it is, because a flag on Irondale would give the Orioles a first down, wouldn't it?
Yep. Was it after?
Looked right at the snap. Yeah, there's a flag right at the snap. We're not sure what it is, but
Legal procedure on the Orioles.
So it was against St. Louis Park.
So it'll remain Irondale ball, looks like.
It will, and let's see if they give them 5 yards at the end of the play here. They do.
Oh, yeah.
So they tack on 5 yards to the end of that fumble recovery.
Well, now the Orioles just have to do what they've been able to do the last couple games, play some tough D, make some stops, get that ball back.
King goes in motion. Barraza to keep the football, trying to find an opening.
19 Barraza on the carry for the Knights.
Yeah, but not much there for him. Tried to make something of it that he could, but nice tackle by the Orioles to slow him down.
For the Orioles.
It was Boxley Harmon on the tackle, but it was also Stadler with the initial hit that I think slowed him down a little bit.
Well, the flags were not reset properly, so they had second down, so they're going to move the flags to where they should have been. They kept on that 5-yard penalty. They did not move the flag up 5 yards, and so where they had it, it looked like.
Yeah, so they had it set at first and 5, I believe, and
Correct.
it should have been 1st and 10.
Right. So a gain of 2 would have been, so basically it would have been second down and 3 yards to go, now it's second down and 8.
Well, and they've got it right now, so we're good to go. And it gives the Orioles another little breather for their defense, even though they haven't been out there that long.
So it's been Barraza and King mostly running the football so far in the early going for Irondale.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have 3 dropped passes, but they've been running the ball well.
Yeah, when they passed the ball so far, they've wanted to go to Giafor. This is King. King with a nice burst. King stays on his feet, gets inside the 35-yard line, down about the 33.
Yeah, that's King again, and we'll look here. It looked like he got some blocking, but he is just a smart runner. He sees the holes, and he pounds right through them. He knows when to burst. He knows when to slow down, and broke a couple tackles. Great run by King.
Yeah, when you look at some of these players on the team, you look at Barraza as a junior, King a junior, Thompson a junior. So those 3 are going to be back next year, and that's going to give Irondale something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. The future's bright in Irondale.
Here's a pitch. Thompson fumble, and the Orioles recover it.
They
Looked
do,
like
and
they tried to scoop it up and run, but
exactly. They got lucky there because they almost lost it. Because he tried to pick it up and run with it, and he missed it, but then somebody else came up behind him. And
yeah, that Thompson doesn't get the ball too often from the fullback position. That time he did, and Orioles.
And it looked like a good pitch, and he just bobbled it a little bit. And they're really struggling with kind of any ball that's thrown in the air, hanging on to him. And that's a big break for the Orioles. Here we go. That's the stop they needed.
So let's see if the Orioles can march down here with 8:27 to go in the first half. This is Hager.
Hager's back out.
That's good to see.
Great to see. That's a tough kid because he was really limping hard, and this is his senior year, I believe, and he doesn't want to come out of this game.
He doesn't look to be limping now. You don't know if it was something, his knee tweaked, or was it a cramp or something, but great to see him out there.
Yep.
Brings up second down and 8. In motion, the give to number 12, Brown.
Brown just does not want to go down.
12 Brown on the carry for the Orioles.
So Jacob Brown with his first carry of the game.
And you see here, it looks like it's over, but he just keeps going.
Brought down by number 24, Nambo. For the Knights.
Hager comes off the field now, limping again.
Third down.
He's trying. He's
Yeah, and he's a big part of this offense. It looks maybe like he's holding his hamstring. And that's something that can kind of come and go. You think you're fine, you go back out there in one play, and it can pull again.
see if we see Ellingson run the football this time. Back to pass Ellingson. He's going to throw over the middle, intended for Dvorak. He's got it.
Great catch by Dvorak as he reaches out, catches that ball at the 30, gets down to the 28-yard line.
That's also a great pass by Ellingson, a little bit out in front of him, but he's trying to hit him in stride. That is a huge play. We thought for sure we'd be looking at a run by Ellingson, and they sneak this in there. That's a beautiful pass. Great hands to hang on to it. First down, Orioles.
Nice tackle by Nambo for Irondale and stopping Dvorak from getting any more yards after the catch, and the ball's at the 28-yard line. First down for the Orioles.
They're in great position here to make this a two-possession game with 6:30 left in the first half.
Back to pass Ellingson. He's going to step up into the pocket, looks, now he's going to run, gets to the near side, gets a great block.
Yes, he did. He had a very nice block.
Townsend with a nice block.
Yeah, and again, Ellingson with great field vision, just sees that he has an opening. There's nothing doing downfield, and he just takes off, gets.
You see number 33.
Yep, gets that great block.
So second down and call it less than a yard to go. So this is another chance where the Orioles may look to put the ball up in the air.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the way Dvorak is catching the ball. I'd trust those hands.
And we haven't seen Ross run the ball yet. Looks like Ewald in the backfield now. Number 3 for the Orioles. Deontay's Ross lines up in the wide receiver position on the near side. And the give to Ewald, and he fights for that first down. I think he's going to be short.
Yeah, he did look like he was short.
Brought down by number 5.
Just didn't quite have the muscle to pull it through. Good defense by Irondale to just clog up the hole.
Yeah, it's actually a loss of almost a half a yard here. So
yeah, and this is a situation
really nothing Ewald really could have done there.
Well, it's a situation where he's kind of being asked to do the things that he doesn't normally do. That's a Hager run. It's a tough run for Ewald to make, and he gave it everything he had. But we'll see 3rd and short here. Let's go.
Yeah, again, 4-down territory for the Orioles. So we'll see if they elect to try and throw the ball here. In motion. But keeper Ellingson all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and we're going to get a flag on Irondale at the end of the play.
It looks like maybe a late hit, but a great run by Ellingson. And he's got to be careful, though. He was trying to fight for more yards, you see there, and he was kind of flailing the ball around a little bit. And so he's got to be careful there, but a great run.
Yeah, personal foul. We're going to get a horse collar.
Oh, horse collar.
So they'll move that half the distance to the goal line.
And let's see, he got some good blocking, found the seam, moved right up, and
you're right. You got to try and tuck that ball, but he had his other arm being pulled.
He did. And and I don't know if that was a horse collar. He really kind of got the jersey, but we'll take it.
First down, goal to goal inside the 5-yard line, ball at 2-yard line.
And you like to get in the end zone after your little fumble
empty
recoveries.
backfield. Ellingson rolls to the near side. I think he's going to end up throwing it to the corner, and incomplete.
Looked like he maybe got a leg in, but
that was a great attempt by Ewald that time.
Yep.
You only need to have 1 foot in here in high school.
I thought he had it too. I thought he had the one in, but maybe he didn't have possession. The ref was right there. He had a good line on it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a
that
tough call.
Very, very close.
That is a tough call for Ewald. It looked to me like he had it. It looked like maybe the ball hit the ground when he landed.
That was such a great job, though, by Ewald right there, stretching out.
Yeah, you know what the ball does? Right. The ball hits the ground. I mean, the ref has the...
Look at the ref. You can see the ref is bent over as close. He had great position to make that call.
Yeah, and it does look like it hit the ground.
But what a great attempt.
Yep.
Good throw, too, by Ellingson trying to...
Yeah, it was one of those throwing it where only the receiver can get it. We got a flag on the play here.
Yeah, this is a real tough penalty for the Orioles. A delay of game, which is going to, instead of now having 2 yards to go to get in the end zone, now they're going to have 7 yards to go. So,
yeah, that is a tough call. Not what you want to do there. these are those situations where 5 yards is a lot.
Sometimes you try and get a little too fancy on some of the plays, and instead of just a straight run from the 2-yard line. And we're getting another penalty on the Orioles.
Timeout.
Timeout, Irondale.
Irondale. I'm calling Spring Lake Park. That's the next game.
Yeah, you got one game at a time, Bruce.
Let's hope we get to call that one too, right?
One game at a time.
That won't be a home game, though. That's the problem.
Probably no. So we got a timeout on the field. Park poised to go up by 2 scores. It'd be great to get in the end zone here. They've done a very nice job with, we have the fumble recovery, and now they've driven down the field, and they're right where they want to be. So this is a great spot for the Orioles. They should be feeling pretty good about themselves.
St. Louis Park's 4 wins this season, coming against Waconia, Orono, De La Salle, and Bloomington Jefferson. Their losses to Chaska, Robbinsdale Cooper, Spring Lake Park, and Chanhassen. That Spring Lake Park was a 49-14 game.
Yeah, those are some good teams they lost to, though. And they've got a nice, the last 2 games they've played real well. Even, going down to their 3rd string running back. Hager's filled in brilliantly. We hope we'll see him out on the field again. He's got some kind of injury he's dealing with.
And the Orioles were, 2-4, which then they were able to come up with 2 wins to come up with a 500 season at 4-4. And Deontay Ross will come back in as the running back.
Yeah, and I don't even see Hager on the sideline, which is not a good sign. But they may just be resting him for the half.
Dvorak and Ewald to the near side. Trying to draw them off sides. Back to pass. Looking for room to run. Thrown into the corner, and it's dropped.
And there is a flag on the play.
Number 6, Ellingson's pass falls incomplete. Penalty in the play.
And it looked to me like Ellingson was looking to go right back to Ewald again, but it wasn't there. And then he had that presence of mind to go and look the other way, found a man, and we'll see what the call is.
Yeah, Ewald getting up slowly.
Penalty is on Irondale. I didn't see what it was. Oh. No, the ref looks like maybe pointed the wrong way. We have an ineligible man downfield.
Ewald had that in his hands, but it was
yeah.
I don't know, that flag sort of came deep in the territory, but penalty is going to be declined. It's ineligible man downfield.
On the Orioles, penalties declined.
So it's going to bring up a third down.
Yeah.
Goal to go.
In that ineligible man, this happened last week too. It can happen in those situations where you're trying to make things up, and maybe you've got an offensive lineman who's trying to run around, find some space, and they head down the field before the pass is thrown. And
well, Ewald's out now. Looks like he tweaked something, so he is on the sideline. And again, he was actually between Deontay Ross and Ewald were the replacement running backs for Hager. So it's getting thinner and thinner for the Orioles. Hopefully
yeah, this is
Ewald's
not a good situation. I mean, they just can't seem to buy a break at running back here.
But you can see Ellingson trying to do a lot on his own. Ewald going back into the huddle right now, so it looks like he should be okay.
So it's 3rd and 7. And you really would like to get into the end zone here. This has been, Irondale's done a nice job of kind of stuffing us at this point where you're knocking on the door.
Yeah, they really have, and big play right now for the Orioles. Again, I don't think the Orioles have not had luck from the kicking game, so I don't think we'll see them try a field goal if they don't get the first down or the touchdown here. In motion, Ellingson keeps it himself, and Ellingson with the push from behind, and he gets all the way down towards the goal line, and he's going to be just short.
What a strong run by Ellingson. That is huge.
Well, it really was, but if you look at what's behind him too with the push, watch Ellingson and watch the linemen now, and they're all pulling and pushing.
Yeah.
Townsend there, and you got just
it's like the opposite of tug of war in Park 1.
Yeah, you're starting to see that more and more.
definitely 4 down territory at this point.
Yeah, 4th down, and
We'll see if they can punch it in.
again, a read option.
They like that read option. It's been working well for them the last few games.
And I think we're going to get a timeout on St. Louis Park.
Timeout.
Not a bad timeout. It's 4th and 1. You want to make sure you got it right. You're poised to go up potentially 13-3 with 3:42 left in the half. That's a good timeout. Let's get it right. Let's get the ball in the end zone.
Right, 3rd timeout for the St. Louis Park Orioles, so they are out of timeouts. And again, you know, St. Louis Park, they want to make sure they hold on to the football, get see if they can get 6 out of this. If they can't, they're going to pin the offense deep in their own territory. So for St. Louis Park, you want to make sure you don't get any penalties,
right?
And you want to keep that ball right at that 2-yard line and see if you can get it in.
And that's why that last run by Ellingson was so huge, because now you're right on the goal line, so you really can pin them if you don't get this. But let's not play it that way. Let's play it that they're going to get in the end zone right here.
Right, and their play selection is a little bit different. If you have Hager,
yeah,
the defense is really going to say, okay, they're probably going to run Hager here, you know, and Hager can get that 2 yards. But now we're looking at Ellingson. Is this going to be that strange lineup for the St. Louis Park Orioles? I still have to look in my football dictionary to see what this play is, but
I think it's the get him off sides play. So we've got Deontay's Ross in the backfield now.
With the quarterback under center. So, and he's just going to keep it. And he's pushing again with
looks
help.
like he's got it.
Yeah, he's got enough help from behind, and they have not signaled. Now they
There
signal
it is.
touchdown.
Number 6, Ellingson is hit for an Orioles.
Like that call. I like when you get underneath the quarterback instead of being 7 yards back, and you can see a great push. You got to give that offensive line a lot of credit too.
That offensive line was pushing hard, but also the legs on Ellingson there to just keep pushing. He's given it everything he's got. The conditioning's paying off there, and that is another rushing touchdown for Aaron Ellingson.
Maybe run the same play here.
Why not?
Ball at the 2-yard line.
I like going for 2 here.
Yeah, they gave up a point by not getting the extra point, so now they're going to try and get it back on a 2-point conversion attempt. Deontay's Ross in the backfield. Ellingson under pressure, comes to the near side, has to throw across his body towards the end zone, and a diving attempt is not good.
Still good.
Yep. No, he did not catch it, and that's a tough play. Things kind of broke down, and then you've got Ellingson running to the right, and his momentum coupled with that stiff north wind also didn't help. But the throw just wasn't quite there, but that is a tough throw to make.
Yeah, Jacob Brown, the intended receiver on the play, and Jacob Fritz was defending for Irondale. So, again, a missed extra point.
And that's okay. Don't let that get you down. You've missed 2 extra points. No big deal. You are up 12-3 with 3:40 to go in the half. Play some tough defense here and see if you can keep that your halftime score, or maybe, who knows, even get another score. But the Orioles have nothing to feel bad about. Sometimes you can feel bad when you're missing those extra points. That they can't do that right now. They got to play with confidence. They're playing a good game.
Yeah, the Orioles had against Chanhassen 24 points in that game, all touchdowns with missed extra points. So this isn't anything new to them. They just, you're right, 6 points is still big, and right now they're up 12-3. With the wind, Orioles are going to have to hold the football here, and Boots going to pooch it down, and it's fumbled, but recovered.
Kickoff is
And I'm a little intrigued as to why he did a little squib kick there. I would think you'd want to get the ball downfield as far as possible with 3:38 to play in the half.
Right, and you had the wind actually blowing in that direction. So, but McClernand was able to cover up on that one.
And they did get a little bit of a break there with the first guy missing it, and then the ball scoots another 5 to 6 yards down the field.
So see if Barraza will air the ball out as they trail by 9 points. And they give us to King. King with a nice hole as he gets across midfield.
That King is fun to watch run. He is a smart and strong runner.
Brought down by number 20, Kemp, for the Orioles.
So 20-yard gain, 2 timeouts remaining for Irondale.
It looked like that was Daryl Kemp with a nice tackle at the end of that to keep King from going any further.
This time King comes in motion to the near side. Barras is going to keep it.
19,
And that's another nice run by Barasa. The designed keeper right there. Everything worked out real well for them. They got a nice game.
Right, still plenty of time, 2:55 remaining here in the first half. So Irondale with 2 timeouts still has plenty of opportunities.
Yeah,
And
they're not in quite a hurry-up situation yet here. They really need to be focusing on first downs and moving the ball down the field.
right, and then if they do get that first down, the clock stops for a second. They can set up on the line pretty quick and run a play.
2:30 to go.
King on a misdirection, and King gets the outside edge, and he gets down to about the 36.
And he gets out of bounds. Nice run by King. Things kind of broke down. He found some space, turned the corner, got the first down, got out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:24 left. Park's got to be careful here. They need to really tighten up their D. You do not want to let them score a touchdown here.
So you can see how fast they were able to get into St. Louis Park territory as they have it at the 38-yard line. Still 2:24 remaining in the first half. King comes in motion to the near side. Barasa back to pass. Throws wide open over the middle, complete, and touchdown for Irondale is number 33, Iggy Ejiofor.
And that's just a beautifully designed play. They've had all kinds of success running the ball. They go to throw, perfect pass, and Ejiofor is wide open and brings the ball right in. And that is a huge change in momentum for Irondale and for Park. As you were looking to go into the half, maybe up 12-3, and now things are tightening up. So Irondale going for the extra point. And it is good, and we're at a 2-point game.
It is good.
The only saving grace there is that Irondale did it quickly, and Park
Right.
gets the ball back with some time left to make something happen.
12-10 the score, and again you got difference. Noah Kiani, the kicker, is able to really has a strong leg, so he could pin the Orioles deep in their own territory. That and that's did that little kick that the Orioles had really gave them good field position and really gave them an opportunity to get down the field pretty quickly.
And they did move down the field quickly. They had some designed runs to get it going. They ran the ball several yards, 20, 30, 40 yards in about a minute, and then a great pass play.
Right, and a good running game really sets up that pass.
Yep.
That was a great play.
Look at that leg.
And the Orioles are going to return it here.
And it looks like it's a good decision. He could have let that go. The ball would be at the 20, but here we are at the Park at the 30. 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. There's time.
See what the Orioles do here. See if they're going to play conservative, having the ball at their own 28, or are they going to air it out a little bit?
That's a nice run by Brown. And then it was Hernandez with the initial wrap-up. He had some good speed going. It could have been worse, but it's still a nice return by Brown.
Ross will be in the backfield. You can hear the wind picking up a little bit here.
It's howling.
Tough to throw the football. Ellingson trying to keep the football himself.
Just nowhere to go. Great defense by Irondale. Ellingson tried to make something happen. He did the best he could, but they were just on him. 1:50 left now.
Right, and again, Irondale with 2 timeouts left and a kicker who has a great leg. Orioles need to try and get a first down here.
Yeah, and they need to get moving. They're kind of taking their time here with no timeouts. I think they're going to need to throw the ball.
I think the Orioles just want to really be in a position where Irondale doesn't get the ball back with a lot of time.
Yeah, and you don't want to make any mistakes here and get a pick 6 or anything either.
Ellingson steps up. He's going to let it go long. He has
got
a
a man.
receiver down, and it's incomplete, just a little short of Jacob Brown.
That's a tough catch for Jacob Brown to make. He's running as fast as he can. He's got to turn his body around and try to come back because the ball was thrown short, which is too bad because he had him.
Yeah, again, very close to being a big play for the St. Louis Park Orioles here.
And you see, that is a tough catch to make when you're running full head of steam. He's kind of blaming himself there, but he really shouldn't. That was a tough ball to catch. But I love the call. It's a pretty safe throw to make. Even if they intercepted it there, it's deep in their own territory. And it's a gutsy, good call to try to get some more points on the board.
So now with 1:19 to go, it's 3rd down for the Orioles. This is Ellingson's going to keep it himself. And he gets to the outside. He would have had a first down, but he falls.
I don't know if he fell or he tried to slide, but whatever it was, he did come down a little short, which is unfortunate. Less because of the down, but more because it doesn't stop the clock.
Well, I think Irondale's going to call a timeout here.
Well, that's a helpful timeout for the Park.
Timeout, Irondale.
No, it's 4th down, so I think Park's going to have to punt the football.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, Irondale wants one more chance here, and they're going to have an opportunity. With the ball at St. Louis Park 36, I can't see them trying to do anything too fancy here.
That's too bad because he just about had that first down.
Well, I think he
kept it moving.
I think he slipped. I mean, I know Ellingson likes to. He'll go hard for that first down, but I think that was just a case where he fell, and he may have been trying to make a cut on that play.
So with 1:02 left.
Yeah, punting formation for the St. Louis Park Orioles.
Mostly a crosswind, but they're also kicking a little bit into the wind, so we'll see how far he can get it. And they watch a fake here. They try to get him off sides.
Now they readjust.
You get a delay of game here if they're not careful.
Yeah, I think Irondale did not bite on that, and Orioles going to have to punt the football. That punt sort of a neutral bounce.
Yeah. Didn't do much.
Fritz just lets it go, and down by the Orioles.
At the 36-yard line.
So at the 36-yard line.
52 seconds left.
One timeout left for Irondale. So we'll see what the Knights do here. See if they'll air it out again. And the Orioles are going to have to be careful with number 33, Ejiofor.
Yeah.
Iggy's had a couple open opportunities, and he did have the touchdown. He lines up on the far side.
They also got to be careful with King, who's a strong runner, and Irondale has been able to run the ball quickly. They're able to get a lot of plays in quickly.
Ahmad buried to the near side, rolling to the far side. Barassa wide open. It's caught at the 44-yard line.
Number 19, Barassa's pass is complete.
That was the number you called that they said they had to watch out for, and they went right to him.
First down, Knights.
And the Knights are poised to get some more points on the board. You really, Park needs to stop them here.
46 seconds remaining. The clock will should start here. Oh. Rolling to the near side, Barassa. Throws incomplete. Intended for King.
And that looked like one he should have had, and that could have actually turned into an interception. But
and we're going to have a penalty called. It's going to be a legal procedure.
And it looks like Barasa threw behind King a little bit. That's a tough ball to catch. Another one like Ewald had, I think it was. He had to turn his body around. It was Brown, maybe. Those are hard to catch. So incomplete pass, and they're going to be backed up, which is a break for Park because they were in Park territory. They still are now, but barely. 40 seconds left to play in the half. Park had a lead of 12-3 not that long ago. Now it's 12-10, and Irondale is threatening.
And again, we said Kiani's got a good leg. We'll have to see how far, what the range is that they trust Kiani to attempt a field goal.
Vikings might want to take a look at Kiani.
Timeout.
We're going to get a timeout for Irondale, so they have used their last timeout here.
That's an interesting timeout for them to take. They must have not liked what they had seen there. Of course, with the clock stoppage on a first down, if you do get the big play downfield for a first down, you at least get that clock stoppage.
Correct, right. And so for the Orioles, they just want to, see if they can give them 3 or 4 yards at a shot here. But I think Irondale's going to be putting some first down passes up in the air.
I think so.
12-10 our score. 40 seconds to go. Winner of this game goes on to the semifinals of Section 5A. Another bracket is Minneapolis Southwest against Park Center.
Are they playing tonight as well?
They are. And Park Center is the number 6 seed. Minneapolis Southwest is number 3. Winner of that game goes on to play Robbinsdale Cooper. And those games Saturday, the 26th.
So 2nd and 15, 40 seconds left in the half.
Trips to the far side now. Ejiofor to the near side. Rolling, looking for Ejiofor. He's got a step on the defender. And they throw underneath to the shorter player. That's Gabe Casper.
And he just underthrew him, it looks like, which was too bad for Irondale because that would have been a big first down play for them. But he just underthrew him.
Brings up
So the clock stops with 32 seconds remaining. Ball placed back at the 48-yard line. 2nd down, 15 yards to go. Casper lines up on the far side. C.J. Ritchie in the game now on the near side with Ejiofor and King. And they throw over the middle, incomplete, intended for King.
And it looked to me like there was a little bit of confusion on the side of Park there before the ball was snapped, and maybe Barasa was trying to exploit it, but they did kind of figure things out last minute. Because he went right to the man that it looks like Dvorak was a little bit confused about.
And they're trying to throw over the middle of the field, and that's where we saw Ejiofor break free in the middle.
Yep.
So trying to exploit the middle of the Orioles defense. See if they go to the right side here with the Ejiofor.
28 seconds left.
And the quarterback Barrasso is just going to try and take it himself. Orioles have great containment on that play.
That's a big play for Park. It took a few seconds, and the clock's going to keep on ticking. Looks like we will maybe see one more play here with 11 seconds and ticking.
Spring Lake Park trying to say maybe we'll just take one more shot at the end zone on 4th down here.
Got to be careful if you're Park.
Right. Well, if there's a penalty, St. Louis Park could get the ball back. Back to pass. Throwing long as Barrasso has a Ejiofor, and that could have been interference.
It very well could have. I thought maybe we'd see the flag thrown there. He bumped into him.
And you look at the sideline from Irondale, they are not happy because this would have extended the half.
Absolutely, and it looked like it was there. I think they have a legitimate complaint. I don't know if we'll see it on this replay, but right there, he bumps into him.
Over the top of him, yeah. That was Brown. He didn't have good position. And
no.
Look at Brown. If you look at his face, I think he was like looking over at the sideline
to
see if they were going to call it. But the Orioles come away with the lead here at halftime, and they had to just fight to sustain that 12-10 lead. And I think what we're seeing here is that these teams are evenly matched,
Yeah.
and we could see a really good second half.
This looks like a great game. 12-10 going into the second half. Should be fun.
All right, so stay with us with the score 12-10. We're going to take a break, but we'll have the second half coming up, and it looks to be a good one.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Bruce Over along with Paul Bodwin as we get ready to start the second half. Winner of this game goes on to the semifinals. So big half at stake for both teams here.
Yeah, and it looks to me like the momentum kind of has swung Irondale's way. They were down 12-3 and came back with a touchdown, and now we're at 12-10 going into the second half here. It should be a great second half of football. Both teams wanting to stay alive.
I see Hager on the sidelines.
That's good news.
Good kick into the end zone, so St. Louis Park will start from the 25.
Yeah, Hager looks like he's walking around just fine. He's getting out on the field, and I guess what they did was just shut him down for the half and get that leg rested.
Well, again, that could be the situation where, tweak it pretty easily, so you just take what you can each play and hope he can stay in the game.
Yep.
It definitely changed the whole complexity of their offense.
Well, yeah, when you're down to your third running back and he goes down, I mean, that the complexion has already changed. So here we go.
And the give to Hager, trying to get outside, and good defense by Irondale.
Yeah, and like we've said, Hager generally does better when he's running right up the middle, but they do like to mix it up with him, get him to the outside. Sometimes he turns that corner, and he's also just such a strong runner. Often he can carry guys whether they hit him or not. But that was good tackling.
Yeah, Irondale's tightened up on defense quite a bit.
Absolutely, they have.
Back to pass. Coming to the near side. Ellingson, he's just going to throw this one away.
Yeah, and there just wasn't much there, and Ellingson did the right thing and threw the ball away, but we have a late flag.
Number 6, Ellingson's pass is incomplete. Penalty in the play.
Oh, they're calling grounding.
He had to be outside.
It looked to me like he was outside the pocket. That's a tough call for Park.
Yeah, look at. Yeah, he's definitely outside.
Yeah, he's well.
And that ball has to just get past the line of scrimmage. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a really tough call for Park. Now they're backed up right into their own goal line. That's an unfortunate call.
Ellingson takes off himself. Gets outside. Ellingson with a nice gain. He's got to hold on to that football, though. He's carrying it like quite outside. But that was a big gain for the Orioles in getting some field position.
Yeah, that's a huge gain. Initially here, it looks like what Ellingson is trying to do is just avoid the safety. He knows he's got to get out of the end zone, and then he finds some space, makes a great run, and like you said, he's holding that ball really loose, needs to hang on to it, but he gets back to the original line of scrimmage and more. So now you're looking at 3rd and 5 when you didn't think you would be looking at that. So they're in much better shape now.
Well, they have 4th down on the stake, and I don't know if they lose it down on the...
Oh, maybe. On grounding.
So the Orioles are going to be forced to punt the football. Ellingson. And again, Ellingson's not able to really get that ball to turn over. It's picked up at the last second by
That was
Irondale.
a strange play right there.
That was Barassa.
And let's just name that's the second game in a row where I didn't know what down it was. I'm
That's
adequate.
okay. By next year, you'll get that down.
Well, not a great punt. Irondale's got good field position.
Yeah, he's not able to get that ball to turn over,
Yeah.
but it's not spinning backwards either, so it's just been a neutral bounce. And again, Irondale took a chance. That was Barassa fielding the football, and they're going to have great field position.
Yeah, not a good way to come out of the gate for Park, but of course, a lot of that was due to a very tough call on that grounding call.
Irondale has one turnover in the football game. The give is to King.
King gets a big hole.
Yep, he's in open field, and he's going to be dragged down around the 30-yard line. So
Number 6, King.
Yeah, and that's King. That's how he does it. He's a great runner, like we said, smart runner. If you see here on the replay, he gets a really great blocking, huge hole. He punches it through, scampers around a little bit, and it looks like Ellingson wrapped him up and kept him from getting into the end zone potentially.
yeah, so we're seeing a number of 15, 16-yard runs by Irondale, and that Orioles need to be able to. Seems like they're getting beat at that line of scrimmage, and you can see the speed of King and what that does.
Yeah, and thankfully the secondary has stopped those runs from being bigger than they already are.
Yeah, Barassa did a great job just to get a couple yards on that. Again, the Orioles looked like they had him behind the line of scrimmage, and Barassa sort of staggered a little bit to his right, then went left, and was able to get about 2-3 more yards out of that.
Yep, and we've seen that with him as well. He's big, he's a strong and smart runner, and he did make a little bit of something that looked like there was nothing. So Irondale on the move again.
Orioles with 2 touchdowns from Ellingson, a 49-yard run and a 2-yard run. For Irondale, they have a Kiani field goal, and then a Barassa pass to Ejiofor. He's going to throw it downfield, and we're going to have a penalty.
And looks like they're going to call pass interference, but I don't know. It looked like the receiver just fell down.
19.
And that was Ejiofor again.
Let's take a look at this if we can.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again. That looks like another tough break for Park, but we'll see.
There's pass interference called against St. Louis Park.
And that's a big call. Let's see on this play. He's looking for Ejiofor. I don't see anything there. I think Ejiofor just fell down.
Right, and the referee was right there in position, but from our angle, we did not. I agree with you. I don't see that.
And even still, and I think that was Dvorak maybe? Yeah, he's going for the ball. That is a really tough break for Park. So that's 2 really big penalties against Park that have both been pretty detrimental. Frustrating start for Park. They're going to have to overcome that.
Thompson goes in motion. This is Barassa. And he's tripped up from behind. Nice tackle.
That's a very nice tackle to trip him up and keep him from
On the carry for Knights.
from breaking one open.
Brought down by number 20, Kemp with the Orioles. Second down.
Yeah, Daryl Kemp with 3rd.
Yep.
With the tackle.
And like I said again, it's going to be really important for Park to not let these big calls get them too far down. You can't let those derail you. Keep your head in the game, play some tough defense.
Give to King.
Number 6, King on the carry for the Knights.
But again, the Orioles look like they had good push, but King is able to just keep spinning and getting the extra yards. Watch how fast he just breaks through the hole. Oh, that was actually...
Oh, no, that was...
Barassa.
Yeah, that was Barassa, yeah. I thought it was King as well.
That may have been the play before. Here's King trying to get the corner, and he's taken down by the Orioles, and it's going to be interesting where they spot the football here.
Yep, it's going to all come down to the spot. And looks like
I think it's going to be
fourth down,
and they're going to line up quickly.
And why not go for it? I think that's a good call.
They put Barasa under center this time.
Looking for a signal.
Back to pass, they're going to throw. It's
And
incomplete.
That's an interesting call. And now we got another penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be on.
Number 19's pass ball is incomplete. Flag at the plate.
That's an interesting call there. When you only need the 1 yard, I would expect Barasa to just keep it.
Yeah, that's a bad break for the Orioles because
Yep.
that pass was not really thrown in a great catchable position.
No.
It looked like it was too high. And they are going to call it on St. Louis Park.
And that's going to be a first down, and we'll see what happened here. Penalties killing Park in the second half.
I don't know, that ball, that's just a tough call.
Where, I don't see
way
it.
over the head of Ahmad Berry, and I just don't know what they're calling there.
Yeah, this is 3 really tough calls on Park. All of them huge in big spots, and that's a nice stop.
Yeah, Barasa is brought down nicely by Caston.
Yeah, Caston's he's upset. And it's been a frustrating half. It's just begun, but like I said, Park has had 3 huge calls go against them that were all suspect. So hopefully maybe that'll fire up this defense a little more, and maybe they can get a break. King's got space.
Yeah, I think King's going to get the touchdown here pretty easily. So first lead of the game now for Irondale.
Well, 3 tough calls for Park lead to a great scenario for Irondale, and they take the lead. Got some upset fans here
yeah,
in Park. They love their Orioles. So Irondale lining up for another extra point. Kiani with a strong leg.
Yeah, Kiani,
And it's good.
he's automatic pretty much.
So a really tough start to the second half for the Orioles. Now they're down 17-12 with 6:25 to go in the third quarter. This is where they really just have to refocus. It's been frustrating, but don't let it get you down. Overcome it and get a nice drive down the field and take the lead back.
That's right, 14 straight points.
They know they can do it. They've run well against this game, or against this Irondale defense. They've got Hager back, it looks like. So the offense is going to really just have to dial in and focus up here, not let these calls get them down.
So again, the wind still at the backs of the Orioles. But Kiani seems to, doesn't seem to bother him when he kicks off. That's the difference too. Having a strong kicking game can pin the Orioles deep.
Yeah.
Where we've seen the Orioles unable to really get that long kick. And so field position starting for each team has been around the 40-yard line for Irondale, 25-yard line for St. Louis Park.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's another strong kick by Kiani. The Orioles wisely take a touchback there.
You know, the big play on the first series for St. Louis Park here in the second half was really that penalty took them out of even having an opportunity to get that first down, and that was that pass that Ellingson threw, that Ellingson threw out of bounds, but he was outside the pocket. So.
Yeah. And then it's also what led to the great field position for Irondale.
They're going to throw over the middle, too high for the intended receiver, Dvorak.
And that's too bad because he had him, and he had him in space. If he hits him in stride, Dvorak could probably get another 15 yards after the catch on that one. There's nobody around him.
So the Orioles now with 2nd down and 10. Hager in the backfield. Orioles need a 1st down very badly right now.
They sure do.
Ewald in motion. The give to Hager. And again, you can see Irondale's just stacking the line saying, you know, you're going to have to pass the football. And I think maybe like a screen pass or something, maybe the play here.
I'd like to see Deontez Ross get a screen pass out in space. He's good in space. Also with Hager, we don't know the degree to which that leg is still bugging him. That might be slowing him down a little bit, but you're right. They are stacking the line while enforcing Park to get into a throwing game.
Irondale's been very tough defensively on the St. Louis Park Orioles team. 3rd down, long for the Orioles. Ellingson steps up into the pocket, and he is brought down. 4th down now for the Orioles.
Yeah, and they're going to have to punt somewhat deep in their own territory. Again, they could really use a good punt here. There's just nothing for Ellingson to do there, and then the pocket collapses, and he just has to go down.
You can see Fritz is just at the 50-yard line, so Ellingson needs to get a good leg on this. Actually, Fritz is moving up to the 45.
Saying burn me.
Low snap, Ellingson, plenty of time. It's a little better kick. Fair catch called and made by Fritz.
Right at the 50. It's a good field position again for Irondale.
So 4:39 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. 17-12.
I think the key here is Park's defensive line is going to have to get a good push to make sure that those holes aren't open for King again, and because they got to stop him. King has been just chewing up yards.
And the give to King. And again, a nice run by King as he's brought down, but a 1st down run.
Yep. Again, he breaks through the line, had some great blocking. He's a smart runner. And the secondary with some good tackling, but when you're tackling the runner in the secondary, things aren't going well.
Thomas Boot making the tackle on that play.
The wind is blowing so strong, it's just blowing the ball around on the field now.
Well, that really plays to the advantage right now of Irondale, who's running the ball so effectively. They don't need to put the ball up in the air.
Nope.
This time King goes in motion. Usually Barras will carry the ball, but they give it to the fullback, Thompson.
Yeah, and again, another big hole. The offensive line of Irondale is just been too much for Park, and the holes are there, and they're getting 7 to 10 yards on almost every run, minimum.
I should mention too, the Orioles lost a couple players that, you know, Nathim has played on defense for the Orioles. He's out for the season. They lost Davenport.
Yep.
He's out for the season. So
yeah,
again, this defense that has still been able to do very well the last couple weeks, but right now Irondale looks like they have the Orioles number.
And that is a nice tackle. Was that Kemp again? Yep. And that's Kemp,
Number 6,
the third,
King on the carry for the Knights.
with a really nice wrap up on King, who's been hard to take down. That's a good tackle. But you're right, you know, we've talked about Davenport and the theme and the loss of them in terms of the running game that Hager's made up for well, but we haven't talked a lot about what they contributed on the defense.
King goes in motion. So quarterback keeper, Barassa. And Barrasa's taken down at the 20.
19 Barasa on the
Be a
quarterback
3rd down, 2, and this is a big
brought down by number
defensive
79,
set for the Orioles
Aston.
right now. They
Yep.
need a stop here
He's up 3rd
with the
down.
ball almost at the 19-yard line. So 3rd down, 2 yards to go.
Yeah, if they can get a stop here, I imagine Irondale might try to kick a field goal with the leg they have in their kicker, and that would make it an 8-point game. Keep it at 1 possession. So this is a big stop for Park.
The G4 lines up on the left side. Orioles almost jump here, trying to get some pressure, and King breaks through the first line, and he's still on his feet.
It looks like maybe Ellingson got him wrapped up there, but we had somebody burst through, and he did that thing that I call over-pursuing. Came in too hard, too fast, and King was able to just slip right by him.
Yeah, once King
Watch.
gets into the secondary, that you're right. That was a good. You're able to see that, and finally brought down by.
It was number 9. I thought it was Ellingson at first. I thought it was a 6, but
Yeah, Ortega.
that was a good stop there. But it was again after too many yards had already been chewed up.
Orioles don't have an answer right now to the running game.
No, they do not. When they're getting there, they're getting good wrap-ups and tackles. It's just that the blocking has been so good on Irondale. There's been big holes, but you see right there, there was a nice stop. Got him wrapped up, took him down.
So the ball at the 5. It's 2nd down and goal to go.
A minute left in the 3rd quarter. This 3rd quarter has gone fast.
It really has, and that's really because we're seeing the ball just being run right now, no passes, and clock's not stopping. It's going to be tough for St. Louis Park if Irondale scores a touchdown here.
Yep.
And Barrasa, he'll take it himself, and
he's
Barrasa is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Number 19
Barrasa looked like he had a number of lanes he could have run into that time.
Lots of choices there, yeah. And again, it's this offensive line of Irondale is like they are parting the Red Sea for their runners. It's been tough, and this has been just a really difficult 3rd quarter for Park. Got some tough calls, but Irondale's also just monopolized on it and played well.
So Kiani will attempt the extra point, and the kick is up and good.
Extra point is good.
So they've doubled the Orioles right now, 24-12.
Yeah, and 12 points, you know, that's 2 scores. But the way things are trending, it feels like a heavy mountain to climb.
Well, that's what Coach Wolf is going to have to do right now is rally this team and give them a little bit of confidence on offense, because they need to get something going here. This is a big offensive possession for the Orioles if they're going to get back in this football game.
That's right, Bruce. They do need a big offensive drive here for a couple reasons. One, they've got to get some points on the board, but also they've got to give that defense some rest.
And Kiani will probably put this one into the end zone again against the wind, which is so impressive.
Well, he's got the wind with him here for the most part.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
And he booted that one almost out of the back of the end zone. He has got quite a leg. Great game for Kiani.
Goes to the end zone for touchback. 1st down Orioles.
So you got 1st down Orioles. It's time to reset, get a nice long drive. You're going to need some good blocking up front because the passing game is going to be difficult. They're going to need to chew up a long drive here and get a touchdown.
And really what Irondale's done is sort of what St. Louis Park did against De La Salle, is they really have done a great job containing the run. And you can see that their linebackers are pushed up. They're St. Louis Park's going to try and run it to the edge. And Hager he fumbles the football.
Oh no.
44 Hager on the carry. Fumble on the play.
I think it went out of bounds.
Well, and that would be lucky for Park. He had a nice run going here. And I'm sure he's just thinking aggressively, knowing he's got to get yards, but a nice punch
and that was
out.
Barrasa.
Yeah. Barrasa with a great punch.
And one of the players on the sideline looked like he had it for a second. Then it bounced up in the air and went out of bounds, fortunately for the Orioles.
Yep, still a 6-yard gain, which is nice. And that's what they got to do. They got to keep getting some, 3, 6, 7, 8-yard runs in here and get first downs.
Orioles are going to run Ellingson. Ellingson
He
gets a
finds
big
some
hole.
space.
Across the 35, 40, 45, and out of bounds at midfield. Great run. Good play for the Orioles.
And there is a late hit, a very late hit, almost pushed Ellingson right into the bench and no flag. I don't know if the cameras will catch this, but I'm surprised there's no flag on that. Let's see if we can see this. He gets out of bounds. He's well out of bounds. He's a couple steps out of bounds at that point and gets a little
hard to
shove.
tell how much, that shove really. But the Orioles are not getting any breaks from that.
No, they are not. And the biggest concern there was that it almost pushed him right into a bench and maybe get injured.
Yep.
But luckily everything's okay, and a great run by Ellingson. Park's got something going now.
And they give to Hager. And Hager works his way down close to the 40-yard line.
What a great run by Hager, Bruce. That's exactly the kind of Hager run that we like to see, where he punches it up the middle and just carries guys. And what, did he get 7, 8 yards on that one?
He did, and they didn't get a good spot on that one.
No.
But Hager really churning his, again, it's a lot of legs go into this, and with that leg injury, it's great to see that he was able to get as many yards as he did. But I thought he got closer to the 40-yard line.
I did too. And that'll end the third quarter.
Paul, we'll have to gear that back up again here, start of the fourth quarter. I'd like to see that replay. But 24-12 our score. Stay with us. Hopefully St. Louis Park can come back here in the fourth quarter.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
Bruce Homer along with Paul Bodwin, 24-12. We'll see if we can get that last replay to see where the runner actually did go down. May not have a replay on that.
Yeah, so maybe not a great spot for Park, but still a good run. You're in good shape. You're moving the ball. Just keep moving the ball. Here's the replay.
Well, Orioles going to throw the football. Ellingson directing traffic, and now he throws it out of bounds. And they're not going to call.
They're not going to
any
call
intentional grounding on that one.
Number 6, Ellison's pass falls incomplete. Third down, Orioles.
Orioles have not completed many passes in this football game. I think maybe just one.
Yeah, you're right, and I think they had one, if I recall, it was a big one, wasn't it? And they almost had the touchdown pass.
They did. They had a couple
there.
real close ones out in the, Ewald in the corner. And third down. This is should be 4-down territory for the Orioles.
Yep. So it's third and
back to pass, throwing it,
oh.
and again too far for
Yeah.
Dvorak.
I think maybe Ellingson was also looking to just kind of throw it away too. He was in trouble, and Dvorak really wasn't open. Well, yeah, he was.
There's a lot of pressure. I was really
Yeah.
shocked that they didn't just run the football there and then have to throw. If they did on, if they had to throw, they'd do it on fourth down. But thought maybe they'd try Hager and see what he could do.
So I'm seeing 4th and 7 on our graphics, but we're more like a 4th and 2. Am I right?
Yeah, I think they have it on the scoreboard as 4th and 7, but it's really fourth down and about 4 yards to go.
Oh, 4.
Uh-oh, pressure, and
that's devastating.
What a great defensive play that time by number 5, Blake Helen.
There was great rush by Irondale there. You can see Ellingson's looking to run, and he's just surprised at these white jerseys right in his face and has nowhere to go. And now they turn over the ball on downs, and Irondale with great field position again.
Well, we have a flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and that may have been after the play, though.
Oh. And that, so there was on Irondale with the turnover and downs. I wasn't sure who he's pointing to.
Well,
so Park gets a break on a...
Yeah, that's interesting because normally the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties usually seems to be after the play, but...
Yeah, so we're not sure where the penalty was, but we will take it. That's a big.
But now the
first down
referees
for
are
Park.
talking here. Let's see.
Oh, no. Looks maybe like we got the crew that was at the Packers-Lions game a couple weeks ago. Sorry, that was offsides. So now we're talking something over here. We're hopeful that Park's gotten a little bit of a break.
No, now they're going to say it is Irondale's ball because Barrasa's out there as quarterback. Now the Orioles will bring the defense back on the field. So.
Okay, so a lot of confusion. We had 2 offenses out there.
Yeah, that makes more sense, though.
Yeah.
Well, it was a quick second half for a while there.
Yeah, and slowed down. So it looks like there must have been an infraction after the play, and that's why Irondale still has the ball.
Correct. Hand off King.
Number 6, King on the carry.
King with about 4.
Yep, another nice little run by King. They just keep going to him. He's had a strong game today, and why not keep going to him? That penalty, though, did back up Irondale, so the field position is not as good as it has been, and so Park has an opportunity here to maybe get him on a 3-and-out.
Yeah, we haven't seen Irondale punt the football very often in this football game. I think one time.
So you really like to see Park get a stop.
This would be quarterback keeper Barrasa. And Barrasa has a first down, comes to the near side, is going to go out of bounds at the 40, taken down
by Ellingson.
Yeah. And that's not a good thing when Ellingson is having to make a lot of tackles because that means that he's getting through the first line and the second line of defense.
And that's what we've seen, particularly this whole half, is Irondale. I would like to see their average run per play because it seems like it's in the 7 to 12 yard range.
And what's been happening is they're running pretty much the same plays as that. They run a little misdirection to King, and then when they put King in motion, it's usually Barrasa. Once in a while, they've run two plays to their fullback, but most of the time it's been Barrasa. They give to King, and you can see King with a nice cutback.
Yeah. Really quick step, and he snuck through, and it looked for a second there like he might break that one all the way to the end zone, but we had another good tackle in the secondary.
Like Townsend.
Yeah. Townsend's had a few tackles tonight. We've been calling that number quite a bit.
Brought down by number 33, Townsend for the Orioles.
So the Orioles season in jeopardy right now as they trail 24-12. They need to come up with a turnover or big stop here against Irondale Knights. They give to Thompson,
and
fumble.
He loses the ball.
And the Orioles have it.
And that's the break you called it we were looking for. I don't know what happened there. He almost looked like he tried to turn around and pitch it back or something.
He bobbled it at first, and then he bobbled it a second time. Watch this as it bobbled it right there. And then Fumble the second time.
Yep, you know, he never really quite had possession, then he ran into his own man, and that made matters worse, and he drops the ball, and Park gets a big break.
That may be Thompson's last carry of the game because that's his second fumble of the game. The only 2 turnovers have been when they've run their fullback.
Yep. So an opportunity for Park to get something going here and get back into this game. 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Could be the momentum they need. Let's see if they can get things turned around here.
Plenty of time, no need to rush.
Trips to the near side. Ellingson sends Ewald in motion to the far side. Back to pass, he's got time to throw. Steps into the pocket, he's gonna run. Ellingson pushing his way out of bounds at the 47-yard line. He knew where he needed to get for the first down, and he gets it.
Yeah, and he took a big hit there at the end, too, but he saw that space, and he went for it, which was a smart play on Ellingson. Great field vision for him. And watch this hit right at the end. That's kind of that's a tough one.
That's an Orioles first down.
A little bit of energy going Park's way now with that turnover.
See if they run the same play. They do. Ewald goes in motion. We'll look out from behind. Ellingson throws it,
no!
and it's intercepted at the 26-yard line. You saw that coming.
Yep. Well, and he's lucky he didn't get it fumbled, behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think he saw that guy behind him, got rid of it quickly, but not a great throw. It was a little short, and that enabled the pick.
Yeah, this is Preston Nimley.
And you see there, he almost had to do like a throwing across the body thing almost. He had to sort of sling it sideways based on the position of his body, and that is what caused him to throw it short. And then you have the pick.
So back-to-back turnovers. Gives the ball back to Irondale now at the 25-yard line.
Not entirely across his body, but a similar type of difficult acrobatic throw. So the Park gets a break, and then Irondale takes it right back.
There's King, and he could go all the way. One man to beat. King cuts inside, now goes back out. And King is down at the 25.
And there goes King again. He's quick, he's smart, he's limping a little bit here. And it looked like it was Ellingson that was the one that slowed him down and kept him from the end zone and enabled, I think, was it Townsend again on the tackle?
No, it was Brown.
Brown,
yeah. So
but Ellingson slowed him down.
Yeah, so that was from the 25 to the 25. That's a 50-yard run.
And King stepping out of the game with a little bit of a limp.
So Preston Nimley looks like he's going to head into the backfield. They have a new fullback in the game too. Nimley goes in motion. Quarterback keeper Barrasso.
19 Barrasso.
Yeah, and that's a nice tackle by Moot, getting in the backfield, wrapping up, making sure he doesn't get any more yards. We've got 8:45 left to go in the game, and things are starting to not look good for Park here, as Irondale's knocking on the door again and has really taken over this half. Yeah, Park had, a couple of rough calls, but also they had some opportunities to get some things going.
Right, Irondale tonight does look like the better team, and still a 12-point game. If St. Louis Park can stop them, there's still plenty of time left to get back in this football game. And to give that time to
number 1 to Nimley.
There's Nimley.
Yeah.
And so interesting with King coming out of the game, you've really seen the Irondale run game stall out here, and we've got a Park player down now.
It's funny that I know it's a good thing we got the numbers here from the coaches, because you look at their roster that they've sent is number 1 is Blaine Cooper. So, but it's Nimley.
It looks like Boxley Harmon is down. I think I saw number 55. And he looks real hurt. So last week, Park, had a great senior night, which is good, because I think this night has been a little rough for the seniors in their last game in their home field.
Yeah, it has. You know, it's again, it'll be a disappointing way to end the season for the seniors, but again, it's not over yet. 24-12, 7:59 to go, and I think this wind has played a little bit of havoc for Ellingson when he's been trying to throw the football.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think St. Louis Park probably has a little bit better passing game than what Irondale has, but they have not been able to complete any passes really substantially today.
Yeah, and and Ellingson's had some situations where he's really had to run around and make some things happen. So he's had the pocket collapse on him and a good pass rush for Irondale.
Nimley. You can see a little bit of a difference when King's not in there.
Yeah, the running game has completely stalled out for Irondale. Hate to see a kid get hurt, but it's also an opportunity.
Well, I think it's two things too. I think Thompson is out of the game at fullback too, so they have number 48 in there. He's not on a roster, but so you and we're going to see a long field goal attempt here.
Oh, if you're Irondale, why not? He's got a hot leg. Kiani going for about a 41-yarder.
41.
With a stiff crosswind.
And Kiani's kick. It's
Looks
not pretty,
good.
but it's good.
It's good. I'm not kidding. I think the Vikings should pick him up with the kicking troubles they have. They might want to take a look.
He looks good. Yeah, Gophers too.
Just forget college. Let's just
go right to the pros.
What a leg on Kiani. That's a nice kick, but again, Park
stays a 2-possession game.
Yep, little nice way for the defense to stiffen up, and they can still get back in this game. There's 7 minutes left, plenty of time. Let's see if the offense can get going.
Irondale coming in here with a 5-game losing streak.
It'd be nice to see Park really put something together here.
Irondale did have some tough games along the road with Spring Lake Park, Armstrong, who's undefeated this season, playing Cooper and Hopkins, so a little bit tough schedule.
So not a great kick.
No. And a nice return for the Orioles.
Very nice return. And that was
Jacob Brown.
Yeah, that's Brown on the return. That's a great return. He brings it out to about the 40-yard line. You've got some energy. It's time for Park to get moving, make something happen, and get back in this game.
Tell him, Paul. Tell him.
Do you hear me, Park, through this plexiglass? Stay focused, make smart throws, protect the ball, and get some blocking up front.
And again, hopefully Ellingson can get a little bit of time to throw the football. Throws to the near side to Ewald. And great defense on Nimley that time.
Yeah, that's a great tackle. He wrapped him up quick.
Yeah, they fake to Hager and then throw back to the opposite side of the field, but you can see there's 3 Knight players there.
Yep, for a loss of a couple yards.
Second down, 12 yards to go. Ellingson steps in the pocket. He's got a lot of room to run. Across the 50, 40.
Great block downfield.
Ellingson breaks the tackle. Touchdown, St. Louis Park.
That away, boys. That's what you needed. A quick score, a big play. Looks clean. I don't see any flags on the field.
59-yard run, 59 yards.
He had a huge block downfield that enabled him to get into the end zone. I missed who it was. Great speed by Ellingson, and Park is right back in this thing with 6:18 left to go. So let's see.
So Ellingson has a 49-yard touchdown run and a 51.
Right here, that block right there is what got him into the end zone.
Orioles need to
convert here.
2-point conversion. Yes, they do.
They're 0 for 2 on their extra point attempts.
Out of the pistol, Ellingson as Hager. And Ellingson
Fakes
takes it
it.
himself.
And he's in.
2-point conversion for the Orioles.
So now we're looking at a 7-point game, 6:18 left to go, a little bit of defense, and here we go. Playoff football at St. Louis Park.
Paul, we've got a game.
At Away Park, way to stick with it. You could even tell, I was going to say before Ellingson ran it in, that you could tell by the way that he's been playing defense that he is not giving up. He's fired up, and now even more so. So it's an opportunity for Park's defense now to make a big stop, and let's get the ball back.
Well, and again, injury to King sort of staggered that running game a little bit for Irondale, having to kick a field goal their last possession. The Orioles come back, and now it's a 7-point game with 6:18 remaining in regulation. Now we can say regulation. Nimley sort of the guy getting a lot of action here. He's deep back. See if the Orioles will squib it again with Moot.
See if Moot can boot a good one here and pin them back a little deeper than they've been.
Onside kick, and it's fielded by Helland, Blake Helland.
You know, one of the interesting things I've seen with Park here in the fourth quarter is they've been playing almost like the game is later than it is. A lot of passes, they've moved away from the run, and then we have a little squib kick here, and I don't know if they were trying to go for an onside kind of a thing, and I just wonder if they're maybe playing this as though they in a little bit more of a hurry than they need to be.
And that's true. And again, giving good field position to the Knights can be tough when they have such a good field goal kicker. And so all they need to do is gain about 25 yards, and they're almost in field goal range. King back in the game right now. Yep. Quarterback keeper, Barasa.
Good defense. Yeah, and that's why I thought that was an interesting choice there. I wouldn't want to give Irondale good field position. That's the last thing I want to do there. But I sometimes don't even know what down it is. So.
Well, and again, without really scouting and knowing what the return game is, kick return game, they may be saying, okay, we got to keep it away from Nimley. He's got a lot of moves, and
that's true.
You said he's pretty nimble, so.
I did. He's Jack B. Nimbley. So 2nd and 8 here. Be nice to get him at 3rd and long.
Here's a quick pass to King. And King is going to go down at the 49-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a 5 yards to go. So
brought up at number 12, Brown.
And that was Brown with another nice tackle to hang on to him. I mean,
brings up 3rd down.
He's a strong runner. He got him to stumble a little bit. So this is the huge 3rd down for Park. You would love to get a turnover on downs or force him to punt.
Yeah.
This situation.
That last defensive play, Ortega too, made a really nice play, forcing the runner into the hands of Brown. 3rd down.
5 minutes left.
This is King. And King just gets what he needs to. He follows those blockers, and he hides right below.
He does. He hides behind his blockers.
He runs low. Watch how low he runs
here.
He gets down right here.
He's just got a dangerous combination of smart, quick. He also knows how to shake tackles, and he's got the legs to pull guys. I mean, it's just so hard to get him down.
So they keep the clock moving. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Both teams with 3 timeouts.
And now the clock is becoming more of a factor here, and Park really needs to stop them.
They blitz, and they guess right.
They guessed right, and that's a loss of 3 or 4, maybe 2. I don't know where they spot it, but
Boxley Harmon was the player blitzing.
Yeah. Boxley Harmon came out with a little bit of an injury earlier, but he's back in and a huge tackle to put him at 2nd and 13.
Great job, though, by the running back King to hold on to that football. I mean, that they came in pretty quick and stunned the running back, and he did a great job keeping that football. That's so important right now for Irondale, is no turnovers.
Exactly. Down to 3:35.
See if Barrasso taking himself here. Back to pass. And he's got a good block. He's looking for downfield. Barraza just trying to pick his lanes. And he's going to be pulled down at the 45.
And that, that's one of those situations there where I think Barraza needs to just run north and south, push the ball up. He really ended up not getting much of anything there because of the dancing around. And that's advantage Park, I think.
Yeah, it took a lot of time off the clock just on
That's
that run,
true.
but forcing St. Louis Park to use their first time out right now. Three minutes, 19 to go. And Barraza just making sure he holds on to the football.
And we got a big third down here. Third and long.
I think, Paul, my guess is we're going to see King get the football here. And I don't know if they'll take any chances and throw it downfield, but
No, I think you're right. I think you see King in here, and even if King can pick up 5 to 7 yards, you're almost getting into Kiani's range.
You are. And again, if they do put it up in the air, watch for Ejiofor.
Yeah, Ejiofor. He's headed.
Iggy's been the go-to guy, number 33. A couple times they've gone to Casper as well, but.
Yep. And they haven't thrown a lot, but considering with how little they have thrown, Ejiofor's had a nice game. So big third down right here, 3:19 to go. Park needs to stop him.
Well, they had King. We're going to have timeout for Irondale. Yep, that time they had King lined up in a wide receiver spot.
Yeah, it looked like there was some little
Out of the
confusion
slot.
going on. I saw a coach hopping up and down, trying to maybe tell somebody to do something. They weren't hearing him. They want to make sure they get this right.
Paul, the bracket.
Oh, there it is.
See Park Center going against Southwest is same time tonight, and games are on Saturday. I believe the Spring Lake Park game is going to be a 3 o'clock game, and the Robbinsdale Cooper game is at 5 o'clock on Saturday. But
yeah, it'd be nice to see SLP slip in to play against SLP. But they're going to need a big stop here to do that. 3:19 left, 3rd and 12. And you want to keep this out of Kiani's range.
Third and 12. Barraza.
He's got time.
He's got time. He throws
got
to
a
the far
man.
side, wide open, and it's complete.
And that's Ejiofor again with the catch.
Yeah, he catches that one, goes out of bounds. Probably would have liked to stay in bounds if he could have, but
Now,
it's
clock was going to stop anyway, and that's a big first down for Irondale, and a little bit of a heartbreaker for Park. Because now you're in Kiani's range, you got a new set of downs, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left.
And it really changes the momentum of the game. That St. Louis Park seemed to have turned the momentum in their favor. And again, that 3rd and 12, getting that first down,
Yep, 3rd and 12, you really needed to stop there. And we'll see if they can put together a quick turnaround here.
There's a keeper, Barraza. And you can see Barraza trying to stay in bounds at the end of that play.
Very heads up.
Very smart.
So clock ticking down under 3 minutes now.
See Barraza right there. He just turned and said, I'm not going out of bounds.
Yep.
Keep the clock going. That's
And on that 3rd and 12, when you've got King in the backfield like that, you know you have to protect against that as well. And I think that's maybe partly what also opened up the passing game. So they're letting that clock tick down. It's 2:30 left.
Yep, King in the backfield now.
Penalty in play.
Well, delay a game.
Delay a game. That's that's an okay delay a game penalty for you. You don't lose much there. But Park might have to start using their last 2 timeouts here if they want to get a chance of getting the ball back.
And again, right now, they are in field goal range for Kiani.
When aren't they? So delay a game backs up Irondale a little bit, but they're not worried about yards right here too much as they are the clock.
Barassa calling the signals with King in the backfield. Barassa keeps it.
19 Barassa.
No gain.
Keeper.
Orioles will take a timeout.
Yeah, and it does appear here that what Irondale's doing is really just working on the clock, forcing Park to call their timeouts, and if need be, they'll kick a field goal and go up by 2 scores, and then that'll be kind of the backbreaker. So I think that's what their game plan here is to protect the ball, make sure they don't turn it over, and just chew up as much clock and force Park to use their timeouts.
You can see some of the players very winded for the Orioles. It's pretty hard when you know, as the game goes on, you get that offensive line pushing for the run. I mean, it's the defense is on their heels, and some of these players have played both offense and defense in this football game. And as the game wears on, then they start getting a little tired.
And from a defensive standpoint, remember, and this stuff matters, Irondale had the ball almost the entire third quarter. I'd love to see the time of possession numbers on that, and I'm sure that just wears you down as well. And Park has played really hard here the last few minutes. I think they've been putting it all out on the field.
Big possession, or big play here right now for the Orioles defense. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Back to pass, throwing for the corner of the end zone. Too far for the intended receiver. And that's a surprise call because it stops the clock.
It stops the clock, and it brings up 4th down, and let's see if they go for it.
This sort of surprises me that if they do not go for a field goal here.
Yeah, it surprises me too. The way Kiani's been kicking.
Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, okay. So now we just hope for something to go wrong here for Irondale. Got 2 minutes left. Kiani's been a sure thing.
And the kick is high, long enough, and it is good.
And it is good. He almost kicked that one into the nest. I mean, that's he's just got such a leg. He's such a sure thing. That puts Irondale up by 2 scores. It could be very difficult for Park here. You realize in a situation like this what an asset having a kicker like that is.
Oh,
I mean,
really
he
is.
has really put Irondale over the hump.
It is, and so many of the teams that we faced have not had that kind of kicking game, and especially too in this kind of weather. A lot of times teams are very reluctant to because it requires a good snapper, a good holder, and the kicker, and they have really a good unit put together for their kicking team.
And if you look at the numbers, I mean, what do they have? 3 field goals, a couple extra points. That's pretty much the difference in the game at this point, especially when you put in Park's struggles to kick an extra point.
Let alone, Paul, the field position that the Orioles get after the kickoffs has been on average right at the 25-yard line because he's kicking the ball into the end zone.
So between Kiani and King, those two have really done a good job of leading Irondale. Not to mention Barras. I mean, he's had a great game too.
This is Brown. And Brown really works his way back to the 25, and that was a lot of effort by Brown trying to see if he could make something happen there.
Yep, and hand it to him. He's down 10 with 2 minutes left, but he's not giving up. And it's too bad he couldn't have gotten that ball on the fly. He could have made something happen there. There was a lot of space. It's a frustrating night for Park so far, but they've been playing tough. They're not giving up. Minute 56 left.
No, and you have a lot of seniors out there that this could be their last minute and a half, minute 50. So Ellingson throws to the near side.
And that's special stuff to those seniors. I mean, you think about it, they've been playing in this field essentially in high school for almost a quarter of their lives. These are special moments as this becomes such a big part of your life.
It really does, and again, it's been fun to watch some of the growth of the way these players have played, and Want to wish them the best in their future careers. Back to pass, Ellingson. He's got time. Now he rolls, cuts back, and he's going to let it go. Intended for Ewald. He's got him. Ewald has it and stays on his feet and goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
All right. That was a tricky one. That looked similar to the one that got picked off earlier, but he got it over him. A great presence by Ellingson to just stay with it. He could have run, but then he's got a guy on him, but he launches it up. And
just perfectly thrown.
Yep.
And Ewald got up pretty high for that ball.
He sure did. That's a
good job for the other cornerback to get over there. I thought Ewald had gotten out of bounds, but the referees.
Oh, he might have. It might have been forward progress stopped.
We're gonna reset the clock to 1:36.
So Park's got a little something going here. If they can score quickly, you never know.
Well, they just hand it off to Hager, and they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to get to the line pretty quick here.
Yeah, you don't want to call your timeout here. You got one left, minute 24 and ticking, and they've got to hurry up.
Hager's starting to hobble again right now.
Ellingson waiting for a call.
Back to pass. Ellingson throws to the near
Get
side.
out.
Ewald gets out of bounds.
Number 6, Ellingson's pass is
Yeah, and on that play, Ellingson caught. He turned around to see if there was anything and saw that there wasn't and quickly got out of bounds. I like that play. He caught that and was hoping maybe he could go digs on it, but that wasn't there, so he went out of bounds. So 1:05 left.
Back to pass.
He's got Deontay
wide open. There he is. And Ross looks like he stays in.
Oh, no. So they're going to have to hustle here.
Yeah, they could call a timeout here.
Yeah, they could call a timeout here, which is what they do. Did they? I thought they called the timeout. Yeah.
Timeout, St. Louis Park.
Timeout Park. That's a good timeout. You kind of
well, you know, if they gave St. Louis Park the first down on that, the clock would have stopped, but they didn't get the first down. It was just short by.
Was it really?
Well, was it? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see that again. I kind of wasn't even looking for that.
Paul, can we see a replay of that?
That could be another tough break for Park this half. But give them credit, you know, they have stayed with this, had some tough breaks.
Ellingson's done a really good job here in the second half. He waited a little long to get that ball.
And let's see where.
Well, he's definitely.
Oh boy.
He was definitely at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough call. That's a tough call.
That was a bad call again.
Yeah.
Orioles have not gotten any breaks on the calls here in the second half.
No, and it forces them to use that last timeout, but they could overcome this by punching it in the end zone right now.
Park pride, right?
Yeah. Well, and credit them for playing tough here.
Yeah. Ellingson's got to get rid of it, though, here.
He can't go down.
He could run that to the corner.
Get out. Ooh.
Oh,
Did he
he's
get
in.
in?
I think he's.
I thought he broke the plane.
Oh, again, they're going to say.
Number 6, Ellingson on the quarterback.
Ellingson thought he was in, too.
Well, yeah, it looked to me like he hit the pylon, but it all depends on where the ball is when the knee goes down, and it was hard to see.
Here, Ellingson needs to quickly line up under center here.
Yeah, I thought he got out of bounds at least, and it really, to me, it looked like he got that in. I never saw the knee hit. Right, the ball comes down on the pylon. I did not see a knee go down. I don't understand how that's not a touchdown.
And the referee's right there in the corner, so. Send this footage to the state high school league. Ellingson.
And now Ellingson's in.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a great fight by the Orioles to try and get back in this football game. I think they're just going to be short on time. They have time for an onside kick, and
yeah, they're going to need to get a conversion here first. because they're still down 2 scores. And unfortunately, they lost probably a good 10 to 12 seconds just on not getting first down calls, not getting the touchdown call.
Yeah, 4 touchdown runs for Ellingson in the game. So great.
32 seconds left. They're going for 2 here. And they need to convert to have any chance.
You're going to throw it. And he caught it.
And he got it. So we got ourselves a 2-point ball game here.
That's Dvorak.
2-point conversion is good.
It's just kind of threaded that needle. That's a
Dvorak
great catch.
Yep. And, you know, it's great to see Dvorak with the catch because he's had such a great season. He was held without a catch so far in this game. And McCabe finally getting the 2-point conversion.
Well, they need to get an onside kick here. And if you do, you never know. They're down 2. With no timeouts, it's going to probably, well, it would have to be a long pass touchdown.
Yeah, or get a first down and just line up quick. And
yeah, well, you have to line up real quick. So 32 seconds left. It's going to come down to an onside kick here to see if Park has a chance for a miracle finish.
Irondale with the hands team on the field.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good hop.
That's a very good hop.
Oh,
there's a flag.
Orioles were offside.
Yeah, and that often happens on those onside kicks. You're trying to get the best jump you can.
Boy, that's too bad, too, because that was a great kick.
It was a beautiful onside kick. It had that bounce, heavy roll.
Offsides on the Orioles. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
But that's all right, too. You know, it's 5 yards. What's the difference between needing 60 and 65?
30-28 our score. And again, how big are the field goals that that we've seen?
Field goals and extra points. That's been the difference. Even if Park gets one of those 2-point conversions, this game is tied.
That's Poocher. Oh, fumbled.
It's fumbled, and it looks like Irondale's on it.
Yeah.
He kicked it deep and, a little deeper than I expected. I don't know if we missed it or.
Yeah, but it took a good roll, and St. Louis Park just didn't have enough guys down there to.
Yep, so with no timeouts, Irondale just take a knee here.
Right. Victory formation.
But credit Park.
A lot of fight.
Being down 10 points late in the game, never giving up, having a lot of things go against them, and really, overcame a lot of it. But this will be it, and not a bad season for Park. They've had some good memories here.
Right, tough third quarter for the second and third quarter for the Orioles, but a good first and fourth quarter.
Yep. And Irondale, really the other thing is their offensive line just had such great push all game. It was hard to overcome that. And this is hard, especially for the seniors. This is it for them. This is their last game. They're in that season of lasts, and this will be a big one for them.
But they don't have to go play Spring Lake Park, so that's
right.
But again, tough way to end the season. You can see.
Yeah, we got
some emotion.
Tears.
Yes. Jacob Brown over there on the field. So a lot of emotion as the Orioles players now realize that this is the last time that they go through this handshake. And
St. Louis Park 28, Irondale 30.
But an entertaining fourth quarter in St. Louis Park. Again, you said a lot of fight in this Oriole team. They didn't give up and both teams played very well in tough conditions to really hold on to the football. And,
yeah, so credit Irondale for a great game all around. The offensive line was good. The run game was good. The passing game was good when they needed it. And, of course, their kicking game was stellar. But, again, Park played tough. They played hard. They never gave up. They have a lot of reasons to go into that locker room feeling good about themselves tonight. And again, especially for those seniors, it's a special time. It's a hard night, not the end they want. But but they can hang their heads high.
You know, I look at my roster sheet that I had up, and that was Spring Lake Park's roster up there, not the Irondale roster.
That's why you had the wrong numbers.
I wonder why the numbers didn't match, right? So I've probably been calling players by the wrong name half the way through. But anyways, you know, great way to end my 41st year here at St. Louis Park, right? You know, maybe I'm getting too old for this. We'll see.
I don't think so. At least you know what down it is.
Okay. Yeah, but I did earlier. I think I called the field goal wide left when it was wide right. So, you know.
I did the same thing last week. I had one that I called wide. Well, I called it good, and it was not good. That's what I did.
Right.
But
well, again, congratulations to Ben Wolf and this whole St. Louis Park coaching staff and the players for a great season. They you know, finish just under 500, so they go to 4-5, and congratulations to Ben Fuller on a great win for Irondale, and to come into St. Louis Park's field and be able to play the way they did after trailing 12-3. And winning this football game. So.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun to be here in the booth with you, Bruce, from the first game of the season to the last. You know, and so I appreciate you bringing me along.
Yeah, I feel like I gained something this year. I gained a great color person, and I'm looking forward to doing some basketball games with you.
I love it.
Paul. So on behalf of Paul Bodwin and our entire crew, I want to thank. Again, I want to thank our crew,
yes.
The camera people that have braved the cold weather throughout the last 3-4 games, and our producer, you know, Paul Brodeen, who's done a great job. So on behalf of Paul Broden and Paul Bodwin.
That's a tongue twister.
Broden and Bodwin and Bruce Overman. We say so long here from St. Louis Park. Final score 30-28. Good night.